Hi, I'm Weiser Cornell, and this is Support for Stressful Times. Unfortunately, the times are still stressful, and it's wonderful to have some processes and some practices that help us be more fully present to our lives, be calmer, be more gentle to ourselves. I especially want to talk today about being gentle with yourself, because what I've noticed is that when people go through hard times, they're sometimes hard on themselves. Like they tell themselves, you should have, or you should. And maybe that's not true. Maybe you've always done your best, but I don't know. What I do know is it's a lovely plan to be kind and gentle and loving towards yourself, because your whole day will go better, your life will go better, and there's a tragically unnecessary number of people who are harder on themselves than they need to be. Well, let's start like I like to start these meetings, by just taking a moment to pause and sense. Okay? So if you choose to join me, I invite you to be aware of your body right now. Whether you're sitting right now or standing or lying down, you can still be aware of your body. And I think most people are probably sitting. Feeling your body. What we're doing right now is the first step toward finding more calm in your life, and that is to pause. Right now, we're pausing together. Second step, feel your body. Being aware of how you're sitting, how you're supported. Resting into the support that's here. I'm settling in. I feel my body kind of settling. It's really nice. I love doing this. And next, be consciously aware of the inner area of your body. So I'm feeling my throat from the inside. And I feel my whole body relaxing as I do that. So that's really nice. So now I'm bringing awareness also to my chest, my heart area. Letting awareness come down into my stomach, my belly area. So what are you sensing? I'm noticing that it's somehow down in that belly area that I'm feeling something. Actually, not the belly, but more the solar plexus area right here. How would you describe what you're feeling? Feels slightly uneasy for me, but how about you? Can you check that word uneasy? Well, you check your word. I'm checking the word uneasy. Notice what happens when you find the word that fits how you feel. See if that brings a little bit of easing and relaxing. Maybe not, but just notice. So we're pausing, coming inside, sensing the body. I just feel a little uneasy today, but there's other days where I might feel a clenching, a gripping, a sense of something that wants to take me over. In any case, the next step is to say hello to that. I'm saying hello to something that I'm feeling. So the language is, I'm sensing something, feeling uneasy, and I'm saying hello. Hello, I know you're there. So whatever you're feeling, it's not all of you. It's something that you feel. You are the one sensing, noticing, and you're feeling something in you. It's tight, nervous, sad, overwhelmed. And you can say, I am with you. I sense how you are. That's the simple process. We're doing it together right now. Now, let me talk more about being gentle with yourself. What if what you find in your body is a feeling of shame or feeling of being pushed from inside to do more? That's pretty stressful. Do you feel like you haven't done enough? And who is it in you that's saying you haven't done enough? So then we have two things to say hello to. We have something that's feeling ashamed or downtrodden or pushed or like, I haven't done enough. And it's probably tension, it's clenching, tightening up like this. But then let's also say hello to another something in us that's the one pushing, saying, you haven't done enough. What's wrong with you? You're the one who's the problem. And it's saying to this other part of us. If I feel like inside me, I have somebody telling me I haven't done enough, or I'm the problem, or I made bad choices, or I ought to be able to do more, well, what should we do with that? What I like to do is be gentle with that. There's some methods that try to push that away. I don't believe in pushing anything inside us away. But I also don't believe in identifying with the one inside me that feels that that's probably true. No. I know I'm not this one or this one. And I can say to each one, hey, I know you're there. I'd love to listen to what's going on for you. Tell me more. The one that's pushing is always worried about something. Isn't it? Check that. Check that with your own. You haven't done enough, you should do more kind of thing. Can you feel how worried it is about something? Often when we don't feel self-love, when we don't feel self-appreciation, it's because there's something in us that's worried that if we do, something bad will happen. So we get to turn toward that one and say, I'm listening. Do you want to tell me more about your worries? I'm going to have a peek at what's going on in the chat because I see some people are sharing. Wow. Elizabeth wrote, my throat feels tight and sad for our country. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So understandable. You're a citizen of the United States like I am. And we turn toward those feelings and say, yes, I know you're there. It's not because we are trying to argue with them or talk them out of feeling that way. Who can? If our feelings connect us with life, they're about something real. Violet writes, feeling constriction and worry in my chest and solar plexus. I just moved to a big city in a new state. Congratulations, Violet. And it's both exciting and scary. Hey, Great. So you are sensing the feeling of excited and the feeling of scary, and you are able to be with that. Beautiful. Lauren writes, I have something in me saying it's all your fault, and something in me feeling like it really is all its fault. Yes, that's beautifully recognized, Lauren. So now the third character in the drama is you. I am sensing something feeling it's all its fault. I am sensing something worried that it's all my fault. And see what happens when you put that word worry in there. Usually that makes it easier to not be the one who feels bad about it, but rather to be a listener. Our whole project is to become a spacious listener to ourselves, because feelings are always on their way to something next. We become the space to acknowledge, to allow, to feel, to turn toward, and that makes it more likely that whatever's next will come. Catherine writes, hi, my dear. Hi, Catherine. Catherine writes, when I check in on the inside of my body, it feels quite abstract and it doesn't feel like I am doing it. Oh, interesting. So you're observing that. Maybe you'll stay with it and sense what happens next. Allison writes, your words about being gentle at the start brought a lovely tingle and softness before I started focusing. And then I found something with lots of layers, the biggest of which is pulling in different directions. And I can be with both of these with kindness. Good for you, Allison. I'm so glad. Lily writes, I'm sensing something in my chest, feeling a burning raw sorrow. Ah, sounds hard. And I'm letting her know, yes, I know you're there and I am with you now. And I sense how you're feeling and how hard it is. Wow. Beautiful. See, we're not here to control our feelings. Making our feelings go away is not our job, and usually makes things worse. We're not here to talk ourselves out of our feelings. But the amazing thing is when you're present for exactly how you feel, and you are the one who is present, right? You get that feeling of, I am here with this. Then there's movement. There's something possible. Now, it may not change it for a while. Feel something. Lily's talking about a raw burning sorrow in the chest. That probably isn't going to change immediately, but it's in the process of change. Just like everything alive is in the process of change. Your feelings are alive. And here's the interesting paradox. You know, the great psychologist Carl Rogers called this a paradox. He said, when I accept myself as I am, then I can change. Change becomes easier when we stay with and completely accept the way it is right now. When we are anxious about trying to make things change, change is harder. But the good news is, if you notice that's happening, you pause, notice the anxious, notice something in you anxious, and then you're back again to being able to be this spacious observer. Isioma writes, I'm sensing something in me feels stressed and angry about a conflict at work. And I'm sensing something in me is feeling angry with my self-absorbed father for his lack of support. I appreciate you, Isioma, for acknowledging something stressed and angry about the conflict at work, something angry with your father, who it's calling self-absorbed, for his lack of support. And you might then say to both those feelings in you, no wonder. So that's another step in our process, is to be able to say to our own feelings, no wonder. It doesn't mean we want them to stay the way they are forever. It means empathy, compassion and empathy to the nth degree. No wonder, right? Who was it who was talking about feelings about this country, this United States? Throat feels tight, sad for our country. You could say to that feeling, no wonder. Yeah. So glad people are sharing it. I really appreciate this forum where people can hear from each other. Maria writes, I'm feeling something rough in my throat that can't be expressed, but still needs to be heard. Oh, I'm really appreciating the subtlety of what you're saying there. You can describe it as rough. That's the first description. And then you're sensing that it's something that can't be expressed. Maybe there's a wanting to express. And you went on to say it still needs to be heard. What we're doing is we're being listeners to ourselves. And by listeners, I don't mean that our bodies talk. They usually don't. I mean, they don't talk words. Usually what we sense in our body is feelings, sometimes images, sometimes memories. Our body life communicates in all kinds of ways, and being a listener means I'm here for that. I get it. I see what you're showing me. I hear what you're saying. Our job as listener, what's important about saying our job as listener is that it's not our job to explain anything, to talk ourselves out of our feelings, to be logical or rational. At this point, being logical and rational with feelings is really a way of not listening to them. Notice how when you say to your feelings, no wonder, you're more accepting. Gracie writes, spacious, compassionate observer versus a spacious, quote, objective observer. That's right. In inner relationship focusing, we call this observer self in presence. I'm just putting that word in the chat. And self in presence is not a witness in the sense of uninvolved, like observer. It's right, like if you were watching a scene through a keyhole, you're not in there. You're just watching it. Now, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about being in the relationship. You're in relationship with your feelings. You're a member of this group here. And sometimes it doesn't feel that way. It feels like my sad, oppressed part is being pushed on by my critical, judgmental part, and I'm one or the other. I'm just in this battle inside me. And then I am here. I show up. And I say, hello, hello. Hey, how about if you don't need to talk to each other anymore? Because I'm here to listen, so please talk to me. And my essential approach to the parts of me is compassion, empathy and compassion. Like, I understand why this one is so critical, even though I know from where I sit that being critical is not a very effective way for it to get what it needs. I get that it's so worried and feels so helpless that the only thing I know it knows how to do is be critical. Sort of like when my daughter was a teenager. Great concern and great helplessness together equals being critical. So, and now Grace is asking, am I talking about a caring friend or an ally? No, not exactly. Ally means you join forces. This is more like being a loving parent. I'm here with you. I sense how you feel. You can feel that way as long as you like. That's what we're saying to our bodies, our parts. Tell me more. I'm listening. So I started out by saying, I'm especially going to talk about going easy on yourself, noticing if you're being hard on yourself, and then acknowledging that because that's a part of you. And really, you can be easy with yourself. You can go easy on yourself. That's a particular expression. Yeah. Go easy on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Go easy on yourself. If you find that you are treating yourself, your feelings, with some kind of judgment, dislike, criticism, then notice that. Life is hard, can be hard. You may have illness. You may have people in your life that aren't treating you right. You may be living in a scary political situation. Maybe all of the above. Maybe you're living in an aging body. Maybe you're not getting along as well as you'd like with your family or your neighbors. Hard things happen. How can we be with ourselves through those hard times? Yeah, it is like being a friend. No, I'm deciding that you're right about that, Grace. It is like being a friend, but a friend who doesn't give advice. Instead, my friendship to my feelings is a friendship of listening, being a listener. I'm here with you and I get how it is for you. I think everyone in the world is empathy deprived. I think we probably grew up empathy deprived. I remember when I first joined a community, when I met Eugene Genlin, there was a community of people around him who were listening to each other. So when I first joined that listening community, oh, oh my goodness, I felt like I'd been thirsty all my life. And finally, there was listening going on. And maybe you feel something like that too. That gratitude, something in you feels grateful at being heard, at simply being heard, and not being told what to do or told the ways that it's wrong. Yeah. Johanna writes, I feel grateful in my chest for the situation with you and bringing me back to focusing. Yay. There you go. Let's live in this way, a way where we turn toward our feelings, especially our stressful ones, and say to them, hello, I know you're there and I'm with you. I'm with you. It is like being a friend with yourself. Hello, I'm with you. Oh, and the gentle hand, putting a gentle hand right there is so nice. Catherine wrote in the chat, so when I feel I don't succeed in being with my inner areas, a critical voice arises. And it's a radical change to just be with that. Oh, that's so nice, Catherine. That's true. We start by pausing, then we do noticing, especially including the body. Why the body? Because your body is always in present time. Present time. And in the present, everything is possible. So we come into the body, we notice, we feel, we allow, we describe. Because is this a clenching tightness in my chest, or is it more like a squeezing constriction? It feels more heard when I pause to find that right description. And then we stay with it. We say, hello, I'm with you. We say, I'm listening. And it's always, everything that's here is okay. It's okay. There isn't anything you can feel that's the wrong feeling. You never felt the wrong feeling. You feel your feeling. So that's what I leave you with in the last few moments of our webinar. Your my wish for you is that you go ahead from here, pausing and sensing and allowing your feelings to be as they are, being gentle with yourself, going easy on yourself. And notice what happens. Notice what happens. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for people who shared. And even those who didn't share, you've been here listening. Thank you so much. David writes, I passed my Get Your Taxes Done Without Stressing Out test, which I take as a marker of progress, and I'm grateful for that. Oh, David, good for you. Yay, you did that. Yeah, very good. Thank you. Thank you. Come back next month. We do it the third Wednesday of every month. We'll see you then. Take care.